just wanted to ask about Joao Palhinha in terms of his former club is playing on Saturday weekend. Just the importance of him for protecting against those long-range shots, which I know you're not a big fan of doing yourself or facing, basically. Does he have an important role to shield that?
No, I think in general, Joao been very good for us. I think he's been very competitive. I think he's been in games carrying the team, really helping to, as you say, both winning the duels and the second balls and do a lot of regains in the team. Plus, it's also been quite dangerous going forward, scoring a few goals for us. So in general, that's important both to shielding the long range shot, but that's not the only thing. That's not only him. That's the whole team that needs to do that.
He's on a season-long loan, isn't he?
Yeah.
So when do you start having a conversation with your people above you saying, I want to sign him for next year, or a permanent deal? When does that come into? I know you're focusing on the next game.
Yeah, right now I'm only focusing on Fulham on Saturday, and we have just said we had playing with 2 or 3 days intervals, 4 games. So I have no thinking about a recruitment or January right now. But all things about bits like that, I can't see it be done before springtime with everything, because we are on a journey here. So yeah.
And if you decide to play Lucas and Archie, does someone like Joao's experience become just as invaluable because he has that experience to guide them?
Yeah, I think it's all, how the team complement each other. That can be experience, that can be different skill set, that can be different types. So part of that definitely is into my considerations.
And just finally, obviously as you tinker with the side and change tactically, Raymond Vega was on the radio.
Who sorry?
Raymond Vega, who used to play for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Talksport earlier. He was quite critical of yourself, saying you didn't feel like you were brave enough tactically to sort of implement that and to be here. Whether you want to address that particularly, but how do you deal when people are criticising you tactically or making suggestions as you're trying to, juggle all these matches in a very short amount of time? And you may not have seen this quite question.
I've 100% not seen it, because as I said before, I don't read anything. Of course, I said I'll continue saying that. Anthony will let me know if there's anything that is valuable for me to know. One thing for sure, when I walk into this club, I also knew, besides knew I would lose football matches, also knew I would be criticized. So I literally don't care what they say. I listen to the trusted people I have close to me and others. The only thing I would say is slightly more easy to be on the outside.
Matt.
Hi Thomas. Xavi didn't start against Chelsea or Arsenal, and he hasn't started any of the away matches in the Champions League. How has he sort of reacted to that? Because I guess there's a big money signing, those are the big games he wants to be starting.
Yeah. Xavi's been fine. I think it's as we've seen with other players coming into the Premier League for the first time from other leagues, it's not straightforward in any way. So I think it's completely natural part of the, how can you say development or adjustment to the league. Different games, different abilities. So yeah.
Is there something sort of that you don't think he's ready for? Is it a fitness thing? Is it a tactical thing? What in those kind of games? What is it you don't think he's ready for yet?
Yeah, I think in the end of the day, it's all about performance. And no matter if it's now you say Xavi, what about Wilson? What about Mo? What about whatever who didn't play Joao? So it's different things. So what do you? And this is not about Xavi. This is in general. So this is about what do you give to the team for any specific game. And then on an offensive one, no matter what type of player you are, do you give enough to the offensive part of the game? That means, do you either play forward enough, do you create chances enough, do you produce crosses, or whatever the position is, fullback, midfielder, winger. The defensive side of the game, do you work hard enough? Do you win the duels? Do you get onto the ball? Can you press with intensity you want? And then there's the set pieces. Do you bring not to the offensive one or to the defensive one? All that's the reason why we select players, how they can perform. And then there's a little difference between playing Arsenal away and whatever, another team home or PSG away.
Like you said earlier, breaking sort of down the low block is one of the toughest things. But these are the kind of games where Xavi in particular, he has the ability to set up and could be the kind of match he has, like Coleman had last night, a sort of breakout match. That's kind of what you want from him.
Yeah, definitely could. I think that's a combination of how do we break down opponents, how do we open them, where are we as a team, how do we create enough chances, because that's the thing we've been thinking about. How do we get enough goal scorers on the pitch? Yesterday I worked with 2 strikers, we are, as I said before, very aware that we are not the finished article at all, and before we are closer to what we want to be, maybe there's kind of a middle ground to go through to make sure we are arriving where we want to be.
Last one. Do you think, could he fit into this kind of system you played last night, or would it sort of need to be tweaked if he was on the side?
Yeah, I think the system last night is, I think it's the way we went man. You can go man in all systems. So we defended in the, let's say, the 4-4-2. But if all of you have seen our games, we defended in the 4-4-2 more or less the whole season, except against Arsenal and PSG in the Europa League final. Whatever, Super Cup. So of course he could play to the left, or he could play one of the 2 strikers. So it depends what types we need for the different games.
Ed.
Hi.
This time last year, everyone was praising your home record at Brentford,
Yeah.
which was best in the league. What was the secret behind that? And is it just a matter of winning games at home and building up the confidence and building that link with the crowd to get them behind you?
Yeah, I also think we scored the most goals, didn't we? At home. I think we had 8 games with 4 more goals last season. I also think it's fair to say that was been a little bit. We if I can speak about Brentford there, it was. It's been a little bit on a journey together, and the team clicked at that time. I had a front 4 with Johan Wissa, Brandon Buemo, Kevin Schade, and Mikkel Damsgaard. The front 3 scored 50 goals between them, and Dams was unplayable at times. So they clicked, and that's what we are working very hard to find now, to make it click. So I'm not in doubt that will come. I hope we see signs of it on Saturday, how we want to do things. And then, as you say, the wins, the performance, the everything, bit by bit, it'll be more and more.
And comparing the 2 defeats that you had this week, obviously against...
Say it again, sorry.
Comparing the 2 defeats that you've
Yeah.
had this week, obviously against 2 really good teams, there's no doubt that you prefer to lose in the way that you lost against PSG rather than against Arsenal, I take it, because obviously you had a go against PSG, scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, you obviously sat back and got criticism for that.
Yeah.
So you want to be seen, you don't want to be seen as a cautious manager at any time.
No, not at all. I think it's. I think everyone has seen my games over all the years I've been in charge. No matter if it was my under-8 team in Frederiksværk 30 years ago to now. Or no, I want to play offensive, front-footed football. But probably also in those 30 years, they could pick games also on the 8 in Frederiksværk to Brøndby to Brentford, where it didn't work for whatever reason. It didn't work Sunday against Arsenal. The plan was to be front-footed. We weren't. That we adjusted, and I agree with you. It's I think it's a very good question. It's a different kind. After Sunday, I was angry, painful, hurt. Yesterday, I was irritated, but the feeling in the body was better because we really competed. It was more the identity I want to show.
Finish with John, please.
Has being in the Champions League been more of a help or a hindrance to obviously not financially, to building what you want to build? Because you get PSV straight after Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm. In that way, I'm more it is what it is. I wouldn't be without it. I think it's part of the journey. It's part of what kind of club we want to be. We want to play Champions League. We want to compete in Premier League. We want to compete in Champions League. That's the big aim. I think if you ask any coach in the world, they want a full week's preparation, or only 3 days or 2 days, they would say full week. But reality is, if you want to build a club and compete and play the big games, you're not going to get that. So that's fine. And until we are where we are, where we can really, really compete in both, then we just need to find a way.
I think with the man, has it sped things up or has it slowed things down slightly?
Say again.
Has it sped things up, the thrill of being back in the big style, or has it slowed things down because you can't get any, you have to keep changing the side, you have to keep changing the tactics,
Yeah.
and getting continuity, and the tires plays out?
I would say, of course, you can see until you get the clear principle in consistent game after game, it doesn't matter if you change 2, 3, 4 players, 5 players. Then that of course makes a little bit more of a challenge, but a challenge we embrace. Also, you need to change players to keep a little bit of energy and freshness. You can see City changed 10 players in the midweek. Chelsea changed 5. It's you need to do that if you. It's not for the next game, but if you want to also be fresh in February and March and April, where everything is going to be decided, but also need to perform now. So that's of course, a slightly challenge, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.